I got to take you back a few months ago when I was traveling to another organization in Boise, Idaho, from Salt Lake City on a plane. Had a bad experience on the plane. Want to share it with you. It's got everything to do with my message for you today. I won't tell you the name of the airline because that probably wouldn't be appropriate in the setting, but they fly south and they fly west. That's all I'm going to say about the airline. So we're flying on that airline. I'm flying from Salt Lake to Boise. That's a 45-minute flight. As we're making our final descent into the strip there, the pilot comes over the intercom system and he says something that I've never heard a pilot say. He says this: ladies and gentlemen, as you can all hear, the landing gear on our plane's been deployed. It's down. You can hear the wind hitting it, and so we know it's down. But we got a problem up here in the cockpit. The light that comes on to tell us our landing gear is locked, it's not coming on. So we're just not sure our landing gear is locked. Now, I don't know about each one of you, but I'm pretty sure the landing gear is an important part of that aircraft. I did not like receiving that news very much, ladies and gentlemen, so the pilot went on further and he said this: because our light's not coming on up here in the cockpit, we've made an executive decision. We're no longer going to land in Boise. We're turning this puppy around and we're flying it all the way back to Salt Lake for the following reasons. Number one, Salt Lake's got longer runways than Boise's got. Number two, Salt Lake City is better equipped with their emergency crews. Translated, they can foam the runways in Salt Lake City. And number three, flying all the way back to Salt Lake will give us the opportunity to consume the majority of our fuel. Now there's a confidence builder for those of us sitting in the back of the airplane. I didn't really like hearing that much either. So we fly back to Salt Lake City. Before we land in Salt Lake, the pilot comes over the intercom system and he says this: before we make our final approach onto that foamed runway, we're going to do a flyby of the tower and we're going to get close. Ladies and gentlemen, why are we going to do that? What's your thoughts? So what he called it a visual. You're right, sir. He called it a visual. We got so close to that tower, sir, you could see the dudes in the tinted windows looking right back. It was the most eerie feeling in the world, and I wasn't feeling good about this. You can imagine, and I'm sitting in the front seat. That's where I always sit in airplanes. That's where they put people like me, which is probably not the best place to be sitting if you're about ready to crash your airplane. I mean, I've never heard of an airplane that's backed into a mountain before, so I'm not feeling good about this at all. Stewardess comes up to me, very, very nice lady. She comes up to me and she says this: Mr. Hymas, do you have any concerns? I said, you know, if you're going to ask me a question like that at a time like this, I got two. I got two concerns. Number one, am I getting all my frequent flyer miles for this? Because we're going all the way to Boise and coming all the way back. That's double miles, and I want them all. I want all my miles accrued for it. She assured me that was the case. My second concern, a little more serious, ladies and gentlemen, a little more serious. Are all of my miles transferable to somebody else in case this doesn't turn out good? She assured me that was the case. We made our final approach into Salt Lake City on a foamed runway. Have any of you in this room ever landed on a foamed runway before? I never have. That was the first time. I'm telling you, flashing lights on each side of the airplane. Not blue and red, yellow flashing lights. That's what those rigs are like at the airports. Big, big rigs. Runway was fully foamed. Back landing gear hit first. She never did collapse, even with no indicator light on in the cockpit. It never did collapse. It held. And then the nose gear hit second. You all know that. That's how a plane lands. Nose gear hit second. It never did collapse either, even with no indicator light on in the cockpit. She held into place. They brought that plane to a quick halt, put us on a new one, same airline, but I haven't told you the name, right? Same airline. Put us on a new one, flew us back to Boise.